Chazak Baruch. Morning, everyone, and Chazak Baruch for making the minyan. So, we're continuing the halachot, Siman Resh Mem Daled, of a non-Jew working for you on Shabbat. So we know how important the mitzvah is of Yishuv Eretz Yisrael. To, God willing, we got to be there soon to live in Eretz Yisrael. So it's a mitzvah from the Torah, and telling a non-Jew to do something for you on Shabbat is midei Rabbanan, amira le'akum. Meaning, if you tell a non-Jew to directly turn on the light, turn off the light, that is rabbinically you're not allowed to do that. So, for the mitzvah of Yishuv Eretz Yisrael, for the mitzvah of living in Israel, how important it is, and also because we don't want the land to fall in the wrong hands, so you can even tell a non-Jew to build home for you on Shabbat in Eretz Yisrael because of the importance of mitzvah Yishuv Eretz Yisrael, that it doesn't also fall into the enemy hands, it doesn't fall into non-Jewish hands. There's a similar halachot when it comes to the laws of writing on Shabbat. One's not allowed to write on Shabbat, of course, but when it comes to, let's say, all you need is that signature, and maybe if not, then, of course, in a case where if you can't do it during the week, then there might be a thought that it might get into the wrong hands. The sale might not be finalized, and then maybe the Arab guy is going to buy it or whatever it is. So you can send a goy. You can't do it yourself. You can send a goy to sign for you on Shabbat because of mitzvah Yishuv Eretz Yisrael. Another case here is, let's say a non-Jew, let's say a Jew rents a house from a non-Jew, and now the non-Jew wants to do some renovations, for on his house, but the Jew's going to benefit because the Jew is renting, and but he wants to do those renovations on Shabbat, so that can't be done, because number one, the house, even though it's rented by the Jew, is what's called Al Shem HaYehudi. The Jews living there, it's known that the Jews living there. And it's going to be for the benefit of the Jew. And we have the issue of Marit Ayin, meaning even like that people are looking like, well, maybe you hired this guy, maybe people don't know that he's necessarily the owner. Maybe you hired him working on Shabbat, Marit Ayin. So that's not allowed to be done. And the importance of not doing things because of Marit Ayin, meaning even though by the letter of the law, technically it's allowed. Like in this case, it's the goy doing his own work in his own house. I'm just a renter. He's doing his own thing for his benefit as well. He's renovating the bathroom, whatever it is. So the reason why we say no is because of Maritain. People are going to look and say, oh, you hired him, or you can't have working on Shabbat. So in those situations that it's only not allowed because of Maritain, which it's still not allowed. So the Mishnah Berurah brings a story from the Sefer Chasidim that says there was a person that hired someone to build a house for him, a kablanut. As we said, kablanut is, here's $100,000 and build my house. Build, not with $100,000, but now here's the rest of the money for the house, and I'm paying you one fee. I'm not paying you per hour. Take care of the building. So that guy chooses to use some of his days to do it on Shabbat. So that's still not allowed because of, again, Marit Ayin. People are going to be watching and looking. And the story goes here that a person didn't care about that. He said, well, according to the letter of the law, it's allowed of Marit Ayin. And he says, not long later, he says, it wasn't that many days that the land left his possession, and it wasn't for him anymore, it wasn't for his children. And the Kaf HaChaim brings a flip case, an opposite case, that says that there was a person that built houses, and he was very strict to make sure there was nothing doing on Shabbat in his buildings. And then a fire broke out in that city, and all of his houses were spared, like in a miraculous way. The Kaf HaChaim brings the story. So we have to be on guard of the laws of Shabbat, and even the laws of Marit Ayin, where a person could see and be, even though, so what, you're watching me, what do I care if you misunderstood the situation? It's allowed for me to do this on Shabbat, but nevertheless, we're worried that the person is going to take that and say, oh, if that's allowed, I could do this, and start talking, whatever it is. We have to be worried about that, and we see some stories here to help show us the importance of not doing things even b'marit ayin. Okay, that's that for today. Mincha today at 5 p.m. Have a good day, everyone. Turn on the video.